We got to just see how it unfolds. It's going to be really unpredictable this year. I think there's a lot of guys that start up front whose race cars don't look very good, and I think there's guys that start in the back like Rossi and hopefully myself who do look good, and so to balance that out is going to be tough. For sure, the first 100 you need to be just cautious because there's a greater opportunity to take yourself out in those first 100 than there is to make up a lot of gains.
I feel like practice has been safe because everyone's taking care of each other. That's not going to happen Sunday. Everyone's lifting early, letting people have room. The problem is you have to pass so late on the straightaway now that, if you're running with someone who wants to be a hero on the outside, he's either going to take you out of your race or you're never going to get around the guy trying to protect both of you. So it's just all about knowing who you're racing and knowing who has the most risk and who is trying to run a safe race. So it's going to be definitely more of a thinking game, I think, this year than maybe past races. But we'll know about that once we get in the middle of it,
Well, through experience, you learn a lot more that it is indeed true, an endurance race that you've just got to minimize your risk with the whole aim of having track position and your car in the best possible window in the last 50 laps. And so many different things can lead to a good or bad result here, that what happens in the first 50 to 100 laps when you think it's all over is just such a distant occurrence come the last 50 laps.
So as long as you're still going, as long as you still got a chance.
Yeah, on the lead lap, and obviously you can see how this race is won with fuel strategy and attrition. Yeah, you never know. Last year I couldn't possibly have imagined that I'd have been fighting at the front and leading the race. But that's the way it worked out. So you just drive it accordingly, and for sure, if you're in a position to win it, you've got to go for it because it's the biggest race in the world. All bets are off, and you never know how many chances you'll ever get of having a shot to win it. We may be able to do this race another 10, 15 times, but how many times are you going to be in with a shot to win it in the closing stages? So that's really why I went for it last year. And it works out, you're a hero. It doesn't, well, you're not, and you try again.
The Indy 500 has always been a track position race, even for 500 miles. It is not somewhere like Iowa where that last stint, if you put fresh tires on, you can video game drive through the field. This racetrack is not like that. It's not been like that. Even if you didn't want to be second at the white flag lap the last few years, or you didn't want to be leading, on the white flag lap the last few years, that may be different this year. I think if a car is good and it can run clear, it may get out in front and run away and hide a little bit. You haven't seen that separation from cars in the last few years, so the race may develop. And I say may because I don't know that anyone can definitively say it's going to do this or it's going to look like this. And we may, as drivers, may not even know until 100 laps into the race on Sunday or longer.
Just everything is set up for a good race day, and I'll be patient and see how things start to settle in and play out, and then we can maybe turn it up a little bit as we get a bit closer to the end of a race.
So you got a good plan?
We got a good plan. Plans are great until you get out there, and then, chaos happens, and then, the plan goes out the window. So we at least have a plan, and we're going to do our best to stick to it. And yeah.
I think realistically the best move to make is just to get deeper into the field at the first lap. make up 4 or 5 positions, get into the mid 20s, high 20s at least, just to sort of start out and sort of have cars in front and have cars behind, and then just go from there. See how the car plays out in the first stint. See how other cars around you, how their handling degrades or gets better, and then you sort of just kind of start working from there, I think.
I mean, a lot of drivers are struggling this year with the new aero package at this place. It's been really hard to pass for everyone. A lot of people are saying understeer off the corner, and I mean, I personally think we are one of the strongest cars in race trim on Monday. So I'm really confident going into the race and looking forward to see what we could do.
And for a good race car, it's a car that is going to be really good for the 30 laps of the stint. Also, you have to think that the track is going to change where the race progressing. The car is going to change a little bit, so you have to think ahead of that. But the most important is to have a consistent car over the 30 laps. You can be really fast in the 10 first laps and then going downhill on the last one. So I think it's good to have a car consistent the whole time.